Well, people, what is up? My Reds family out there, what is good? Oh man, it's a little bit chilly where I'm at, but it's all good. I'm gonna warm up a little bit here with some of what I've had to say, and I'm sure you'll do the same out there for us by chiming in and giving us your thoughts and what we have to discuss today, because there's quite a bit to discuss. Quite a bit to discuss. There's a lot of action that happened today, and not only a lot of action, but a lot of anger and a lot of frustrations and just sheer devastation, I guess you could say at some points. Um, yeah, we are not currently in Champions League position in the table, but I'd like to welcome everyone back to a championship level channel, and that is the Liberal 12th Man Show. And I wish I was greeting you after a nice little 1-0 where we just didn't play well, but we still got a result. No, not the case. We've just lost 3-2 again, and it's the kind of loss that makes you feel like you've watched the same movie all season. It's like Saw, where like they've got your eyebrows, or not eyebrows, eyelids open, sewn open, so you can't close your eyes and not watch it. This is tough. It's tough because it's not just a defeat; it's how we're losing. That is one of the most frustrating things, is how we are losing in these games. It's the late goals. It's the chaos in the box. It's the we had control, but we didn't have control talk, while we create next to nothing in open play. It's the same patterns of self-sabotage over and over and over until it stops being unlucky and starts being an identity. And that's an identity that you don't want to have associated with you. And that's why it's nice about standards. But it's also, all right, it's not about vibes, it's not about narratives. It's strictly going to try and be about standards in this discussion we're going to have today. Because we've got to start with the man himself. The man has somewhat divided a lot of people. He has taken what has been stated as something I stated earlier, or stated last season, which is he's taken believers to doubters, and I just I can't get over what our coach has stated in his press conference. I don't know if you're with me or not, but I'm far past gone with the excuses. There's only so much time you can give a person who continuously makes the same excuses time and time and time again about why you're not performing, why you're not succeeding, why you're not getting results. Because I'm not letting that pass without a hard conversation. And we're going to go into the match story. We're going to go into the tactics. We're going to go into the numbers. We're going to finally do a horrific player rating. And I should say horrific, a mixed bag player rating, because there were some players that had decent performances and there were some players that had horrific ones. And we're going to talk about what Liverpool have to do next. That's a major segment that we need to get into the back and forth with. What does Liverpool do next? Is it bring new players in? Is it hunker down and rally the troops? Is it find a new leader? So yeah, we got to always, if anything, start it off by saying thank you for joining us today. I probably will have a panel with me, most likely have a panel with me, but for now, since it is a Sunday, the guys have a little bit more open schedule. But let me just start off with this. So Slot comes out after the game and says this. All right, and this is where you have to get. This is where we'll start. He said, a quote, "A few players ran out of energy. We played away in Europe 2 days ago. We're the only Champions League team with 2 days. I play the same players because of availability. What shouldn't have happened is what we had to win. What shouldn't have happened is we had to win it all at the end. For the rest of the game, we dominated." And I'm going to be honest. That is utter dreck, as you guys would say in the UK. That is poppycock. That is rubbish. Not because fatigue isn't real. We get that. Players tire. We all do. Fatigue is real. But because that explanation is being used like a blanket to cover things that have nothing to do with tired legs. If you're tired, guess what? As a coach, personally, I would suggest, if I was the coach at least, I would suggest simplify your message. Simplify what you're going to be doing on the pitch then. If you're tired, manage the moments. If you're tired, you do your job in the box like your life depends on it. What I watched wasn't we ran out of energy. What I watched was no one takes charge in the box. No one trusts each other on this pitch. The ball goes in and everybody's guessing. And Liverpool, and I'm talking about the title defending, title winning club that we are, look like a team learning how to defend in real time. And that's why I'm not accepting fatigue as the headline from this coach or from anyone. Because Bournemouth didn't outplay us. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't think Bournemouth outplayed us. Some of you might. I get that. But I don't think Bournemouth outplayed us with some tactical masterpiece. We gifted them goals. And then act shocked that the game became a mess at the end. It was a mess from the very beginning. And the most painful part is this. The midfield can keep the ball. We can rack up possession. We can look like we're controlling the game. All about the possession. Oh, it's all about possession. It's all about, I'm so sick and tired of all the heavy metal and the pressing and the intensity. I want control. I want calmness. But if behind that we're chaotic, in front of us we're toothless, then possession becomes a trap. It's like the Star Wars meme. It's a trap. It becomes nice. You've got the ball. Now do something with it. Because not doing anything with it and then conceding anyway is pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Big up Abdul, big up Lone Sheep, big up Hyler, big up Alexander, big up Lee Wiz Kid. Red Armchair supporter, shout out. Big up the Gram, big up the Hashashin Forasi. Look, I can accept we dominated territory in a lot of different arguments. I hear that. I can accept we dominate possession. I'm cool with those. I'm not saying those are negative connotations associated with your name. But if your domination produces set piece goals only and defending produces panic, then domination is just a word you're hiding behind. As simply as that. We can't, like Lone Chiefs is saying, we can't defend the corner. I'll go one better. It's not even just the defending of the corner kicks. How about the fact that we can't really even score on our own corner kicks this season? Yesterday was an anomaly that we scored off a corner. I think we have like two goals from corner kicks this entire season. How is that a thing? How is that a thing? And that's why I'm coming for accountability. This isn't for clicks. It's not for drama. It's not for any of that dumb stuff. This is about standards. It's simply about standards. Shout out, Jimmy. Shout out, Jimmy. Big up. Whether it is our captain, Virgil van Dijk, whether it's our coach, Arnie Slot, whether it's any member of this team, you have to understand, you wear that badge. You don't get to talk like this is a scheduling problem. Because we are not the only team playing multiple competitions. Newsflash. This is what champion teams do. This is what serious clubs do. And if your response to pressure is, well, we're just tired, or oh, you know what? I couldn't play this player because of certain this or certain that, then you're admitting something far worse. You're admitting that the team cannot cope with the level it's supposed to live at. And it's simply that. I agree. Standards is a word that disappeared in LFC badge for this board manager and now captain. It's great. It is. It is. It's unfortunate. When Chiesa started, he didn't look great, but at least it looks like he's trying, says Graham. Hyler thinks it's because of Heitinga leaving. Hey, I'll tell you this. I've been saying it. I have a not necessarily conspiracy theory, but I definitely have a wild take. I've shared it with the group chat that I'm in, but I have a wild take on Heitinga and on even that's even related to our own coach, to be honest with you. So I'll be blunt. The late goals we've conceded this season, those stoppage time gut punches, basically, they aren't random lightning strikes. They're not some, oh, we stepped on a landmine here, and that's just unfortunate. It is what you do when, I don't know how to even put it. It's what happens when your team. It's what happens when your team doesn't manage games like a solid unit. When your box is a democracy and nobody's the adult. And the ball is coming into an area and nobody's commanding that space. And I mean everyone. Allison isn't commanding. Virgil isn't commanding. The line, the back line isn't commanding. Every second ball is a panic. And if that Slot's form of domination or term of domination, have it. Take it with you and don't come back. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that talk. That kind of domination is not even a beginning of a conversation starter at all. Shunan says, watching United today, he's sad. You can't tell him a new manager wouldn't rejuvenate this team to play better. We have better players than them. Agreed, absolutely agreed. Absolutely agree on that one. Because the reality of it is that I'm sitting here watching United versus Arsenal. And at one point when they went down 1-0, I'm sitting there going, I'm hoping Manchester United score. What is up with that? That's sad and scary. Very scary. Very scary. And don't get it twisted. I was not rooting for Manchester United to win. I'm not that delusional. I'm not that far gone. I don't like Arsenal, but I'm not that far gone where I'm going to root for United to win. No, I was hoping for a draw. We obviously saw United step up and they got a result. A result that I was very much so. I shouldn't say I wasn't unexpecting it, but I certainly was surprised by it. I was somewhat surprised by it. I'll admit that, because when Arsenal battled back, I thought maybe we'd see them either try to get over the line as a draw, or maybe Arsenal would get some stupid corner kick, type thing or something. Hey, Jimmy, don't lose faith in Villa. Villa is my team to win the Premier League this year. That's my team. Fingers crossed. That would be so good. So good. I think it's something that the league would need. The league could use a Aston Villa winning the league, to be honest with you. I think for some reason I don't really, that narrative of City winning it again. No one wants to see City win it again, to be honest with you. Do I want to see Arsenal win? I will openly admit I want to see that less than watching City raise the trophy. But I don't want to see Arsenal win, and I certainly don't want to see, and I just as equally don't want to see City win. So I'm hoping that Villa can win it, and I think that if Villa won it, it'll be good for the league, because it'll be something. It'll be a fresh face, a fresh team. Be very, very, very. I wouldn't go as far as to say it would be like Leicester in the sense of how they went about winning the title, but it would certainly be a fresh approach to the hierarchy that usually does contend for the Premier League as well. So big up to Dara. Big up. Oh, they're already crashing out. I asked KJ to do a welfare check on Gunnar Lee, because Gunnar Lee was all mum for a hot minute, just sitting there looking like he was going through the many stages of despair and regret. It can happen to no one nicer, no one more suited. Norm is coming out hot from the box here. I got you. He's saying he has to get this off his chest. He has not said this before because he wants to give players time, but he's not a fan of Verts. He is too slow on the ball and constantly gives the ball away. For United, almost relegated last season, to be above us is the ultimate humiliation. I agree with that, Graham, 100%. I was disappointed by Verts's couple of Verts's touches. There was one that he had in the box where it was like he looked a little bit labored in trying to get a shot off. I agree with that, but I still think Verts is an incredible talent, to be honest with you, in my opinion at least. We have Salah, Virgil, and Kanate out of contract soon. Add to the existing holes in the squad. We might be in a worse situation next season. Yeah. I understand that. I can understand what you're saying. We do have some situations to rectify, and this talk about I personally think, you know what, to be honest with you, I personally think, I'm not blaming it all on, not even remotely all on this set of circumstances, but I really do think that the Robo stuff, the Robo talk really, really came at the wrong time. I don't know why it had to come out now. I get that we're at the end of the transfer window, and I get that Spurs are going to push a narrative out there so that they can maybe get, a little bit momentum in the deal actually happening. But I was pretty disappointed to hear about the Robbo story breaking at the moment, at least. So, well, I have your attention. I'm going to give you the story in plain terms. We started with territory. We had spells of control. We looked like the team more likely to dictate the zones. And then, bang, Virgil van Dijk's error puts us into a crisis. Bournemouth score. Then it snowballs. I know that some people are going to talk about Gomez being injury prone and how he's unreliable for this or for that. Look, if it's my opinion on injury prone players is, it's not about, if you get an injury from an impact, accident or accidental impact or some type of impact that creates the injury. I don't look at it as being you're injury prone. If you're just running and you end up, pulling hamstrings, or you end up like, just going down on your own on accord, that's a little bit of a story, in my opinion. But Gomez went down, got hit pretty nasty by Ali when they were trying to converge and stop that goal. I know we're in that weird limbo where we don't manage the substitution cleanly and we get sliced open again. I think that's going to be a big talking point for a lot of people too. I'm sure it is for the chat. I was really, really confused with the fact that you don't have either a player take a tactical foul, or just to stop the ball, or you have at least the player kick the ball out. Obviously, Ali had an opportunity to do so. He didn't. He played it on. We played with 10 men for about, I think, 6-7 minutes or something like that. It was, or something along those lines. That's unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. It's not like we're down to 10 men because of a red card. It's not because we're down to 10 men because we had an injury and we don't have a substitution to bring on. But that's not their better. That's not why Bournemouth had what was I'm trying to think of what they had some crazy. Oh, I saw the Born Supremacy. That's what it was called. Everything else. Big up, Cosmic. Thank you. Still celebrating despite it all. But thank you. Shout out to Berlin in the house. Sheba saying 9 men. You're forgetting Salah doesn't count. Wow, he's that useless. Oh man. It was my birthday, actually. It was my birthday. Yes, it was. Big up. Thank you, Norm. Thank you. Didn't get the birthday present that I was hoping for, but it is what it is. I'm hoping my birthday wish is that we all as Reds have a fantastic year of wishes being granted. How about that? That's one of my birthday wishes. Big up, Alexander. Thank you. Um, Big up, Hyler. Thank you too. But yeah, that's Liverpool. I thought switching off at the end, at the exact moments that decide games. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. My teens are definitely over. My teens are definitely over. Uh, but thank you, Jimmy. Um, the madding thing to me is we do get back into it. I don't know what was said. We had a fantastic, I will admit, an absolutely fantastic. I guess Sabasli heard me say that I was thinking about taking him off free kicks, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, 12, I got to step it up for you and the Reds out here. Think about taking me off free kicks. Oh, let me show you why that's a bad move. And he has definitely stepped it up as of late. Could have done better with the spot kick, but that's a whole different story. Well, we didn't really go through any open play intervention. The invention through that was non-existent. We didn't have our front line wasn't necessarily. I don't think our front line really did much of anything. I get what she was saying. I get what she was saying in that Salah, other than being crafty with Szoboszlai on that free kick, did virtually nothing in that game. You could argue that you probably didn't even recognize that Cody was on the pitch. That's how bad it was. I know we came back through the Van Dijk header off a corner. We came back from Szoboszlai's brilliant free kick, which obviously brought us level. But I'm sorry, I'll take goals. I'll take the goals. I get that, but if that's the only way we look dangerous, is some random free kick and even more random goal from a corner for us, then yeah, I want more than just that. And Smokey's got my back on that one. But pick up, JK.
How you doing, bro? All good?
Yeah, good. Just holding it down. New day.
I hope you had a good birthday, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I told my bro it's your birthday as well. He blessed you up.
Yeah, I saw that. I appreciate that.
But,
yeah.
DJ Cosmic kind of.
There you go. Yeah, I was with I was hanging out with a Bristol. He's a fan of Bristol City. He represents his local club. He performed here in the States yesterday. This guy named Ben Nicky. He's good lad, excuse me. Yeah, he was definitely giving me a little banter about the state of Liverpool. So yeah, it's all good. It's okay. Do you feel like this team is building towards something, JK, or are we just surviving match to match? Has this just become, attrition, and we're just trying to get through the season, just holding on, I know there's those of us that think that we can do something in the Champions League. I know there's those of us that don't think that. I'm still sticking with I made that Champions League prediction in the very beginning of the season. So I'm just going to stick with it, hoping that we can gain the form that we need to get through it. But do you think that we are building towards something, or is this team really just stuck in first gear?
First of all, I'd like to say hi to Jimmy, Norman, Lee was good as well. Helio, Red Armchair, Lone Sheep as well. Who else is in the chat there? Oh, Shiban.
There's a ton of people. There's a ton of
Shiban,
people.
Degenerate.
Shiba. Just say
You,
Shiba.
man.
I like to call him Shiba. Shiba is a cool way to say it.
It's a cool name. Yeah. Yeah, we got the two goals right. Red Armchair. Didn't expect 3 to go in the other way. Bro, look. You know what? Yesterday's result really hurt, man. It was a result. We just like, if we're not going to change the manager, okay, and you've seen the results this weekend. United won, Chelsea won, City Villa won. Us and Arsenal lost. You know what I mean? Meant to be the best 2 teams in the league, and we both lost and stuff. So we all knew all these draws we're having. United and Chelsea, one of them, were going to catch us up. Okay. Did we play badly yesterday? I don't think we did. We were away from home. I think the first half we were a bit messy. Look at all the goals, bro. Christmas presents in January.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. The first goal for sure. Van Dijk, God knows what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I never moan about Van Dijk, but that was messy. I don't know what he was doing there. Like what was going on? Third goal as well. Look at the calamitous defending there, bro. Look how many people we had around that situation there. Everyone fuck around. Not one said, you know what, I'm getting that ball. I'm going to boot it out. You know, the guy was doing long throw-ins from the halfway line, man. That lad. He was doing throw-ins from the halfway line into the box, man.
But that's what this league has become. That's what this league has become, though, is corner kicks, long throw-ins, all those types of play have been very instrumental in team success this season. Look at the teams that are successful, like Arsenal, more so than not, obviously, but the teams that are successful this season are doing well with those basic confines of the game.
That's true, bro. That's true. Bless up, Alexander Delos. Hope you're cool, bro. Good to see you. Look, football's a funny game, and I just said, if we win yesterday, none of these results from United, Chelsea, and all that will really matter and stuff. But when you lose, what happens? You realise everyone else is taking over you, and 2 teams are just taking over us with that result yesterday. Even a draw, it would have been better than a loss in that way of a point, and it keeps our run going. But all in all, bro, I can't blame Slot for that debaucherous 3 goals we've let in. I can't blame Slot for that, you know? Because, what did he take Frimpong off?
I get that. No, I was going to say, why did we go with 10 men when Gomez got hurt? Why did we go with 10 men for as long as we did?
That's true. That's true. That whole situation was messy with their first goal, bro. Because what happened there with the way Gomez got injured in that, he didn't expect that lad to get the ball. And what happened, all of a sudden, the guy next to him's got the ball and he's trying to do a last-ditch tackle. And at the same time, Addison's trying to get to him and bang, traffic collision. Messy, bro.
Oh, yeah, messy. It's very messy. Very messy. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I just didn't think it was I think it was not only messy, but it was unnecessary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but look, she was saying 8 minutes to make the sub, bro. So the time from when Gomez sort of left the pitch until we let them score and whatever, it was 8 minutes. Wow, that's just a madness. I think Gomez should know straight away. Listen, I'm not going to be able to carry on here. Get the sub ready or whatever, you know.
Oh no, yeah. Once Joe knew that he wasn't going to be able to carry on playing, which it did look like a nasty tackle and the likes.
Collision.
Yeah, collision. I'm saying to Gomez, take your time on getting off the pitch. I know it's going to add extra minutes to the extra time. That's all well and good, but at least we'll have coverage. Well, let me get my sub up. Let me get him warmed up. Let me get him ready.
Yeah.
And let me get him by the fourth official so we can get him in the game. And that didn't happen. That didn't really happen the way we wanted it to happen. How about talk about the front line? We talked about the back line.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the front line, because you can't. I'm not going to say the front line can hide, and it's a weird front line because I know we spoke on how we wanted to see, or at least I spoke on how I wanted to see a 4-2-2-2 or 4-4-2 is more realistic, but 4-4-2, or 4-2-2-2 was what we were supposed to be getting, but it really wasn't a 4-2-2-2. It was like a 4-2-3-1 at times, a 4-3-3, a 4-2-2-2. He changed up his formation actually at once Gomez got injured as well. It somewhat changed up, but Salah was pretty poor today. I say that as someone who knows that he can be better than what he's showing. I think Cody gave us nothing meaningful. At least he didn't really give anything on the pitch worth pointing out as being memorable. And somewhat to what Norm is saying, I wouldn't go as far as to say what his critique of Wirtz as a player, but it felt like Wirtz. I think Wirtz's touch was lacking in this game.
Same as the last game, Marseille.
Yeah, it was like just like heavy touches. Yeah, go ahead.
He didn't have that level of sharpness, bro, that we got, like he's normally at. Because, like, see, with Wirtz, I know straight away if he's at the races. And the last two games, since he's had that little run of goals, assists, and that, he hasn't been at the races. We got away with it in Marseille because we had other players stepping up and that. But against Bournemouth, we needed him to pull out a nice little goal or something. You know what I mean? And he wasn't, like, he did a few good balls and stuff. But I just feel what mistake we made yesterday was starting Gakpo for Ekatike.
Yeah.
Gakpo, for me, bro, he weren't at the races at all. Lee Salah was trying, but Gakpo, what is the mission of Gakpo of what he brings to the table? You've stuck out on the wing on the left. Work it out, bro. You got Wirtz running in, Szoboszlai, even McAllister running into the box. And you got Salah from the other side. And the thing with Wirtz and Szoboszlai and McAllister is they know how to do the 1-2s and stuff. Gakpo had enough time to shoot yesterday. He gets the ball, but you don't shoot. But I think what he should have done more was float in from the left and go central. Because we were lacking a centre forward yesterday in that game. You've seen it, bro, the way the match went. We were always lacking that guy number 9 in the middle, in front of the goals, to finish off any business we were doing in the game.
Right.
And I think as soon as you always give the team that starts a good 10, 20, 15, 20 minutes, to see where they're going to go. And I just felt with Gakpo, I think he should have been the other way around. Ekatike starting. Bring him off if you need to. 65, 70 minutes, whatever. But give him the start of the game and let Gakpo come on again. I think Gakpo missed an opportunity yesterday to stamp his name into this team. Like, we needed him yesterday to do something. And I think he was the only one I was really let down by. And also Kirkes, I think, going back to his old club, rustled his feathers a little bit, man. He weren't as good as he's been recently, Kirkes.
Wait, hence why I think he got subbed off.
Hence why I reckon he got subbed off, bro. My opinion.
I understand what you're saying.
That was his worst game.
He wasn't.
In a long time.
He wasn't.
That's his old club, bro.
But it's another reason. It's another reason why this whole Robbo thing is a head scratcher. Not saying that Robbo is our savior. I'm just saying, though, taking away the leadership, the responsibility, the accountability, the level of player that Robbo is from this team, and then relying on Kirkes and maybe a Simicast, or maybe a youth academy player in that role. That's ridiculous. There is talk about if they're going to do this, if they're going to do what the talk is being said, then I would be for the move in bringing the player in if Robbo leaving is inevitable. What I'm talking about is apparently we're pursuing or looking into bringing in Robinson from Fulham as the option that we would utilize I don't know if Robinson has dual citizenship or not. I know he does have American citizenship. That's why he's on the U.S. men's national team. But I know that his family does have roots in England. So I don't know if that constitutes if he can be qualified for homegrown or not. But yeah,
he's a good little player.
I would be down with that. I'd be down with that. I mean, for obvious reasons. But I mean, I'm not going to hide from that. But I would also, I think Robinson is the kind of player that we need. Physical, fast, has pace, and is a player that isn't going to get stuck out defensively, and is going to be able to provide you with the crosses and be able to provide you with the width that you're looking for from a wide left back or wide player. So I'd be very open to it.
That's the thing, would he play second fiddle to Kirkes or the other way around?
I don't know if they. You know what? Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, yeah, like he would want to play. He's a regular for Fulham. He'll be going to the World Cup. Yeah,
I'll get in. I have another portion. There's another portion of this rant basically waiting. I'm not even going to do a rant. I'm just going to do a small, small flex here. But I believe that I honestly believe that you should have competition in every role on your team. And what I mean by competition in every role, I believe that there should be a player that is viably good enough, or if not capable of providing some type of contribution to the team that could make the decision difficult for the coach to pick a starting 11 every game. I know that you want to be in that mindset of saying, oh, it should be easy to pick. When we had, for instance, when you have like different people up top and the likes, you would think that it would be easier to when you have people like Mane, Bobby, and Salah. It was a no-brainer. Those three started. I get that. But yet, if you did have someone on the bench that was making it uncomfortable or not comfortable, making them have to work to solidify their roles every game, I think that would be a positive and a very prosperous thing to have. So,
yeah, it's what she was saying about the amount of players going out of contract this summer, bro. It's a mad list. Rudiger's on there, Neymar's on there, Fabinho's on there, Lewandowski's on there, Harry Maguire. Who else? Have a look. Upamecano, Konate, as we know, Bernardo Silva, Vlahovic, Ruben Neves, 28 years old, defensive midfielder. Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Weston McKennie. What do you reckon of Weston McKennie, bro? I reckon he's a good little player. Juventus.
I think he's a good
27.
player. Yeah, he's and this is he's coming up on free agency too.
He's getting, and also Serge Gnabry, bro. I'd take him for 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not? We need a little
Why
winger
not?
player like that. Can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah. Harry
Hmm.
Wilson. Harry
No,
Wilson's on a free 28.
no, no,
Come back home.
no.
He's
Not going that
Basuma.
far.
Basuma's free agent, and Leon Goretzka from Bayern. He's 30. Basuma's 29. Andrew Robertson, man. Wow. Yep. So there's a big list there.
Yeah, there's a big
Casemiro,
list.
Memphis Depay, Adama Traore, right winger. I always wanted Adama Traore. I thought if he had a good coach who believed in him a bit more, he would have been a top player.
Yeah.
Nick Pope. Sadio
Um,
Mane, he's a free agent.
or now you're reaching, huh? Now
No,
you're
no, I'm
just
just saying. I'm just
reaching.
giving
You might as well
Nick
just bring
Pope,
back Bobby and get the whole band back together.
get the whole band back together. You know what I mean? Carvajal, Koke, Nick Pope, Harry Winks, Patson Daka. Wow, there's a lot of people. Bro, if you just start a new team, or you could just sign a whole big squad, Benzema, you could just start a Cardi as well. So you could start a big, you can get even NBA Chance on a free.
Mhm.
Oh, that list is mad, bro. You can set up a nice little team. Trey Ione. So Trey Ione's out of contract. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Fekir as well.
yeah. I go as far as to saying that I don't know if you guys out there too believe this or not. Maybe you have a different perception of what took place in the game. And again, this is why I like to tend to watch games over, because sometimes when you're watching the first time, you get kind of like wrapped up in the emotions. Certain things are so heavy on you that you end up like glossing over some other things that might have happened and the likes. But you could go as far as to say the midfield wasn't that didn't perform that poorly in this game. They actually did their job in terms of supply, I guess you could say, for our front line. They gave the front three possession. They gave them areas to receive the ball. They gave them phases to build. But what did we do with it? That's the biggest part that really was the issue. No open play chance where you go, oh, that has to be on target, or no moment where you felt the opponent was just hanging on to, onto the ledge, just hoping that he doesn't fall off. It was sterile recycling. Once again, part of the game, part of this team's game that I can't stand, by the way. And then the inevitable defensive wobble that ruins it all. And that's where we're stuck with it. I'll say to this, who's more to blame for the lack of open play threat? Is it the forwards that we're using right now, or is it the structure? What do you think is more of the – tell us in the chat too. What do you think? What's more to blame for the lack of open play threat? Not the threat, even goals, but chances that we're creating. Is it the forwards disconnection of being able to finish and utilize the opportunities they have? Or is it the structure, the process of getting the ball into the box, or trying to figure out how to break down certain types of defensive structure that we have to go up against? Red Armchair Supporter is saying style of play is for him. No patterns of play. What is it for you? What is it for you, JK?
You answer your opinion, and I'll tell you mine then, bro. I think, okay, I'll just say it.
Okay, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
The way
Sorry. I was
Gapco
drinking
was
this
saying
Coke
yesterday, for
Zero and
example.
it had to make sure I swallowed it.
Gapco didn't offer enough. See, when you play as an attacker in football, Your job is to make the midfielders brew up chances for you. So if your positioning isn't great, your midfielder ain't going to give you the ball to create a chance, bro. And that's how I see it. Wirtz creates a lot of chances, that's why I love Wirtz on the ball. I was saying yesterday, give Wirtz and Salah the ball. They're the two guys you're going to be going forward with the ball. Yeah, McAllister, yeah, he's great and stuff like that. And even McAllister could do a bit more in that way. But for me, creating chances hasn't really been our problem. It's actually defensively. We're just letting in too many late goals when you really look at it, bro. And I got a list there of that where we've... Okay, here we go. So, Bournemouth game, 90 plus 5 minutes. Fulham, we drew 2-2, 90 plus 7 minutes. Leeds, away, 90 plus 6 minutes, we let a goal in. Chelsea, where we lost 2-1, we let a goal in, 90 plus 5. And then at Palace, where we lost as well, 2-1 in the 90 plus 7 minutes. So, lack of concentration. And I said that the other day on the show about the way our team plays in the recent weeks. We allow the opposition to have the ball in the next 10 minutes. It's as simple as that. You watch every game we play, bro. We're on top of a team, then all of a sudden, the opposition have got the ball for the last 10 minutes plus injury time. Or was it the last 5 minutes plus injury time? And injury time is about 5-6 minutes on average now. So you're thinking 10 minutes. That's why yesterday, Bournemouth, because as soon as Gravenberch let that throw-in go, do you remember that part of the game where at the end, Gravenberch, the ball came out and Gravenberch it was a little bit messy, where the opposition guy touched the ball and all of a sudden Gravenberch touched the ball. And I was thinking, Gravenberch, did you really need to touch the ball there? Because what would happen? We would have the throw-in and it would have stayed 2-2. But what happened with that? Their lad thought, okay, I'm going to do a long throw with this one. And he did it. And from that came the mess that we had at the end. It always happens in games. At the end, we'll give a silly corner, silly throw-in, anything where the opposition thinks we can attack these guys now. And look at the facts I just told you about the number of minutes in games where we've let goals in. And that's concentration levels. I always say, man, don't give the opposition anything in the last 10 minutes of a game. No throw-ins near our end, no corners, no free kicks. Simple. You're inviting the opposition to come and hurt you. And it happened too many times now, man. But for me, I blame the defence for that. The way we let the goals in yesterday. It's got nothing to do with Slot. But I don't understand the Frimpong sub. Why are you taking Frimpong off and putting Szoboszlai in there? What's the point of that? Weird one, that one.
Yeah, but it's not the first time we've seen the coach move and shuffle players around. Endo got an earlier start than usual, or way usual. And I would go as far as to say that I didn't think that Endo played badly, to tell you the truth.
He was all right.
He was okay.
He did what he had to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not expecting for 9 out of 10 performances out of Endo. So once I get a 7 out of 10, I'm okay with like Endo being on the pitch, because he's not going to do something most likely that is going to result in conceding a goal or whatever, those types of things. But it's weird because I definitely know that I've heard this word of collective. Excuse me, the wording of using, it's a collective error, a stammer of errors, or it's a collective effort. But I don't know if that's the Dodge responsibility or what, because it could be a collective. I'm not saying it can't be, but it also doesn't mean that our forward play, other than Ekitike, has been poor. And if anything, yesterday, it's, I know that there's those that don't want to see Rio start. And I know that those that don't want to give him the minutes. I'm not saying that Rio necessarily should have, be our defined starter, or be a player that gets minutes and this and that and the likes, that could be detrimental to his progression. But what I can say is that there is a noticeable difference when Rio was in the game versus when Cody was in the game. And that's unfortunate. This coach
I
has
think Rio
to
had a good running game, man.
Yeah, I was just going to just finish up by saying I think this coach needs to recognize that Cody Gakpo is a good player. We all see that, and we all know that our coach honestly believes that wholeheartedly. But at the very same time, you can shake things up a little bit every once in a while. You can figure out a way to go against your natural tendency of starting Cody and starting and giving a Rio or a Chiesa a viable opportunity that a player given that opportunity might make the most of. And that could be the difference maker in what you do. I would go ask you this: is Salah currently undroppable because of his reputation, or is he droppable because of his current form? Do you think that he should be dropped because of his form currently, or do you think it's
Hmm.
because, like, because of everything that happened before he left, and if he does get dropped, or if he were to be dropped from the starting lineup, that could end up being more problems than it's worth. You could totally have a player not buy into what you're trying to sell, maybe even like, opt out
Uh-huh.
mentally at least.
Look, bro, I was happy for Salah to come back. Two Premier League games, got an assist in each game.
Hmm.
The little one was a little back heel yesterday, but it still adds to his stats, you know.
Hmm.
So he's done that in them 2 games, bro. What can I say? He can do more, 100%.
Hmm.
Um, I liked his positioning yesterday. I think it was the first time I seen him and Wirt sort of trying to connect with each other.
Hmm.
But as I've said before, I think if you had Ekatike with Salah up top, it would have been a better display by Salah.
Hmm.
Like Gakpo should realise, you know what? Salah's right on the other side. I need to get nearer him because we're playing
Hmm.
this 4-2-2-2-2, whatever you want to call it, or we could call it a 4-4-2 sort of thing. So what you need
Hmm.
to do is start off in the middle and then go out wide. You know, because when the midfielders get the ball, you can split out wide or whatever you want to do. Everyone's football plays football different and stuff, but when I
Hmm.
think of football, and if I was a Liverpool manager, I'll be telling Salah and Gakpo come inside more and then
Hmm.
go out wide when the midfielders like Wirtz and that are running through. You understand what I'm saying? Then
Hmm.
Wirtz doesn't have to look right on the left hand side to find out where Gakpo is when he's more in the middle. Wirtz. And he wants Gapco to come inside and make a run through towards goal so he can just slot him in. That's what I mean about when Gapco and Salah play. I think Salah does it better. He comes more inside. He was like that in Marseille game as well. He came a lot more inside, which is better.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I think Salah.
Um,
I think he's overdoing it, bro. He should have scored against Marseille. That ball when Gapco put him through. That's he could have made a sandwich or baguette or whatever and scored that goal back in the days. It was like a no-brainer, sort of inside of the foot. And he sort of hit it with the outside of his foot and it went really wide and it was just weird. It was like a shot
hmm.
from a guy who's not in form. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Pick up touchline. Picks up touchline. And Sheba, it's cool. It's okay to have an opinion or have a take, your own take. I don't mind it at all. If anything, this part of our conversation might get some people emotional, or might get those like your. I will admit, our fellow Red and someone that I like, and I do watch his show. Mr. Lawrence McKenna has finally, I guess, seen the light as to what a lot of us were saying. He has totally done a 180 from his former approaches with the messages that he was trying to present on his channel of what was it? What's the meme? Stay calm and carry on. You know, everything is fine here, and everything's not fine. There's things that we have to address. And I know some might even get as far as to saying, "Oh, what you're saying is toxic," or anyone who critiques this manager doesn't understand what he's all about. He's won us a Premier League, and you can't critique him. Let me say this as clearly as possible. Critique is not manager out. My critique is not saying slot out or anything like that. My critique is just I am critiquing the standards that this team has brought upon itself as their bar. That's what it feels like. This is something that you have to recognize. Tactically, we are in a bad place because we keep confusing three things: having the ball, and controlling our opponent. We might have the ball, we might control the ball, but the third, we do not do. And the first two have no real effect on the opponent suffering, the opponent succumbing to us scoring on them. Control is not passing it side to side, left to right, east to west. That's not control. That's not control. Control is when Bournemouth are trapped, when their legs go, when they have no other resolution but to succeed or concede. Excuse me. Their structure collapses, and we get what we came for: a goal. Couldn't control their bladders, but we go wide, and there's no plan to work the ball back into the box. There really isn't. The wide men drift into aimless corridors yesterday. That's the problem of what I saw from Cody. The Salah essence was that they looked like they didn't have any place to go.
Mm-hmm.
The overlaps don't connect. The underlaps don't create. And the ball ends up in a cul-de-sac. Someone takes a low-value shot, or guess what we do? We kick the ball back and recycle it. I am fed up with that kind of play. I'm seeing safe decisions everywhere. I'm saying be bold, be expressive. I think that what is very telling, it's something that I know JK and myself have been very vocal about the presence of mind that this coach, or the presence of I don't want to say standards again, but the way that we create the mentality that we have for this team is different under this coach. Safe rather than courageous become the norm. That's issues with me. I don't like playing that way. I get that there are times when you have to start and try and lock it down and play safe and play controlled and everything else. That's fine. But I believe that we are seeing safe decisions everywhere, and safe decisions are how you end up with 67% of the ball, and a game you still lose. You're going to tell me that we had the ball a solid 2/3 of possession. 2/3 of the game, we had the ball at our feet. And then you're going to tell me that we lost. That's the problem. If your dominance creates fear, you're not dominant. You're just present. That's what we've been lately. We've been just clocking in and clocking out. No real expression, no real imagination, no real anything. And that's why I'm rejecting the whole "we dominated" framing. If you dominate, you create big chances. If you dominate, you force clearances and rebounds and broken defensive shapes. If you dominate, you don't rely on a corner kick or a free kick to score 2 goals. And what's worse about this, when you play sterile football, you keep your opponent emotionally alive. We play to the standards of our team. Bournemouth is not a good team right now. They're not a good team. They had 1 win in the last 10. You're not punching them into submission. You're not demoralizing them. You're not even making them suffer. When that late throw-in drops, when that second ball bounces, when there's a little scramble, guess what? Because you haven't taken advantage of that team, because you haven't made them go to one knee, because of that, Bournemouth believe, not you. We as Liverpool panic. We're in I just hope we can make it through this. And you have a team that you're facing out there that should have no semblance of belief, having a glimmer of believing. That's problematic. That is what I think we've seen, not in just this game. It's why, if you, I'm going to have an episode about my back and forth with Mr. McKenna. Again, someone that I rate, someone that I appreciate, and someone that I'm not trying to throw on our bus. But you'll see what I mean by why I have been very, very I've been on the back of a lot of the content creators that during this unbeaten run were acting as if this unbeaten run was something to brag about, something to be happy about. How often how many seasons have we gone where we've gone at the end of the season, we had too many draws? Settling for a draw is not Liverpool. It isn't. And hearing people say, "Oh, we're unbeaten. Oh, everything's okay here. Oh, I can't." If you had watched that Spurs game, you would have thought that we'd lost by everyone talking the way they're talking. Yeah, because we're watching the game. Because we're watching this team play and not being amused, not being entertained, not being invigorated. I see what the chat's trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, chat. You're funny. Oh, man. Draws against promoted teams is a no-no.
Yeah.
I'll give you
when
some
you look
numbers.
at the facts,
Jake, let me give you facts. Then I want to hear what your analysis of it is. These are the numbers because they matter. Halftime, possession, Bournemouth 38%, Liverpool 62%. XG 63 to 0.63 to 0.47. Shots 3 to them, 6 to us. Big chances 2 to them, 1 to us. They had 1 corner, we had 7. Let me read that again for you. We had 62% of the ball, 7 corners, and Bournemouth still had the better XG and more big chances in this game. If I had the meme, I would be like, I'd be like, you can miss me with that. That's not dominance. That's territory about consequence. And then full-time, JK, 33% to 67%. Now, this is where it's wild. Their XG was 2.3. Our XG was 0.87. We had we had 1 big chance to their 6 big chances that they created or got. Not even created, that they were gifted. Because they only had 5 shots on target. We only had 4. Yet we had 11 corners to their 3. So we end up with 67%, 11 corners, and we still lose XG battle massively and get battered on big chances. What does that tell you about our control concept and our offensive-minded coach?
I reckon that football is a game where you can control most of the game. It can be 0-0. until the 90th minute. Injury time comes, 3 minutes. And then the 92nd minute, bang, the opposition score a goal. Never done nothing all game. So what we do is, instead of thinking, let's go and smash a team in 30 minutes and get 3 goals and defend that, instead of getting a goal and defending it for the next. That's what poor teams do. They get a goal and defend it, put everyone behind the goal, even the manager. You know what I mean? And that seems to be our problem. Like, Slot don't like to let his hair down. I've been saying it for ages. Look at them facts about the amount of goals we meant to score yesterday. It was lower than Bournemouth, man. I couldn't believe that stat. 11 corners as well, compared to 3. And what Sheba said about 4 of our corners went straight to the goalie. He kept coming and catching them. Bro, like, when it got to 2-2, when it got to the Desmond, Wirtz had a chance to make it 3-2 to us, didn't he?
He did.
Could have won the game there, Wirtz. And what it was, as soon as that happened, bro, Bournemouth played for the next 14. I want to say 14. How much injury time was it? 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes. So for the next 8 to 9 minutes, Bournemouth had the ball. After Gravenberch did that little weird thing on the sideline and he kicked the ball out off him, it was all Bournemouth, bro. So where's our midfielders who are going to go and do a little foul or whatever just to slow them down and get hold of the ball and say, you know what, we can win this. So Szoboszlai is the only one in the team who can do that, bro. So Szoboszlai and say maybe Wirtz, who will get the ball and straight away look forward to score or to do something. Oh man.
What does this coach need to do to prioritize a fix rather than tell us what? And this is why I know people are going to get mad at VVD talking about the wind or something, about the weather or something like that. He said in his interview. He didn't get that from. I think that he didn't pull that out himself. I heard the coach say the exact same thing. This is top down. This is like an excuse factory. You can't have those excuses.
I always say both teams have to
play. Exactly. It's not like Bournemouth didn't have to play in the it stopped raining when Bournemouth had the ball or something.
And they had umbrellas and windproof around them. Yeah. Look, did Arne Slot deserve to lose yesterday? If you can explain the Frimpong sub and then Szoboszlai going at right back, then I will make a decision. But all in all, I think if Frimpong stayed on and Szoboszlai stayed in midfield and we kept that solidness, because we got it back to 2-2, bro. Could have won the game. For me, it was there to be won. Because they've had one corner, 3 corners all game. They weren't great, bro. Low possession as well at home. And they're a possession sort of base team. So there you go, man. As soon as the final whistle blew yesterday, I was like, you know what? I know Norman said this earlier on. I'd rather bring Alonso, if he's going to be Alonso, in now. Why? One, he can have a go at the FA Cup and the Champions League. Okay? And get his top 4, whatever that is. I don't like saying that. And it'll give him a bit of time to get ready for next season. I think if he comes in the summer with the World Cup and everything going on, it's going to be a bit too busy and he's going to take him a bit of time and that. Get him in now. I feel sorry for Slot, but at the end of the day, he's dug his own grave as well in that way of certain decisions he's made with certain players and that. A Darwin Núñez and a Harvey Elliott in this squad right now will look great. It's as simple as that, man. And he couldn't wait to get rid of them too. Why? They were Klopp's people.
Yeah, it is.
That's as simple as that.
Like Slot and Edwards and Hughes and everyone that's involved in the decision making of what players to keep and what players that we need to move on from. Let's be honest. There were plenty of people in our fan base that were clamoring that Lucho doesn't have the minerals to be a Liverpool player, or he is woeful in the final third. There are people that, because I used to go up against a lot of back and forth with people defending Lucho. There are people that thought that Nunez doesn't bring anything to the pitch. He's just he's just someone that's going to go and miss every shot that he takes, and he doesn't bring anything else. I see Norm giving his verse rating early. I'm about to go into ratings right now. I know I'm about to go into ratings. I just want to get this last thing off my chest here and say that, like, it is very interesting that people are now recognizing a lot of what myself, JK, Nalante has said, even Lee has mentioned. Those are pretty much those associated with the channel. Those are pretty much the only people that I remember really sticking up at times for some of these players that I think represent Liverpool more than we're willing to admit at times. I know that they're not sometimes the most world-class names out there. Maybe they don't maybe they don't check every box of criteria that you want to see in a player. The one thing I could tell you about, rest in peace, Jota, about Nunez, about Diaz, about even Harvey Elliott, where I'd even go as far as Tyler Morton. These players came out with heart, with emphasis, with urgency, with drive, with a desire to win, with fight in every step that they put forward on the pitch. And if anyone wants to dispute that, I'd be more than willing to debate you, because I think that that's something that is non-existent in a lot of what you see. The fact that there's no urgency to get the second balls, there's no urgency to see games through. There's almost a timidness at times from this team because they're like, oh no, it's happening again. I don't enjoy watching this team play when they are in that frame of mentality. And I still think that, just as JK likes to say, football is a simple game. I think it is as well. And I just think that football can have moments where you recognize that those types of players are essential to having the heart of what makes some of your other bright points, your Mohamed Salahs, or maybe in this form, your Florian Wirtzes, or in earlier years, your Manes. What allows for those players to be the players they are is that they have workhorse style players that are willing to sacrifice, willing to put their game out there and make sure that the team gets a result, as opposed to trying to make it look fancy and beautiful. But I digress, I guess. So I'm sure I'll hear about that in the chat or in the comment section. I've already I put this up, and I already saw people putting comments about what way I'm going to approach this. There's no spin, man, for this show. This show keeps it 100. We keep it 100. There's too many of us on this panel. There's only myself and JK at the moment, but there's usually Lee or Nalante, or even some of the guests like JP and the likes. When they are on, your Chris Angels or your Pops, when they join this panel, this is like a no spin zone. We don't try to spin things. We're just trying to keep it 100 and telling you how we feel, what we see, and what we believe is the case. Myself, I break down numbers for you in the likes.
You can imagine. You're gonna what you just said and stuff. Like, you can imagine, as soon as the final whistle blew yesterday, all the Liverpool content creators were there, sort of licking their lips and thinking, "Oh, we could get showtime. Yeah. It's showtime." Yeah, that's when the big dollars start rolling in. That's when the big bucks start rolling in. You know what I mean, bro? So, because of the demise of the club you supposedly love, you can make a lot more content. You can fuck off, you know what I mean? Sorry for the language, but it's as simple as that.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm not Slot's biggest fan. Haven't been for a while, because I just feel like like when you're on a horse and you're galloping, it's like, go for it. He don't do that. He just trots along. we at Liverpool, we don't need a trotting along sort of manager. We need a manager who puts like his foot down and makes us why we love Liverpool, the attacking sort of football. And so it ain't a great time now with content creators on a mad one, making shows about Slot and the disrespect towards him. This is the thing. If
The
we don't agree with
disrespect
his work,
yeah, that's one thing.
keep it
Yeah,
fucking
go ahead.
respectful. Like, come on, we're not in fucking kindergarten. You know, that's why I don't really go on a lot of shows, like really, like back in the days, because of the attitude of these so-called Liverpool fans. Time and place, bro. And I said for a while, I said at the end of last season, I'm not a big fan of Arnie Slot. And I said that's after winning the league. And I said there and then, but I didn't call him no fraud. I didn't call him no, he's got no hair. None of that bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know the
Come on,
whole
man.
bald stuff and everything going on.
It's like, how immature are these people going on about stuff, man? It's like, it's a thing we love, Liverpool. And you're going to talk like that about it? The manager's come here. Of course, he wants to be successful, but sometimes what he's doing is not going to be successful. But show a bit of respect along the way.
I
That's the main
agree
thing. That's
completely.
why we support Liverpool.
Yeah. And
Rest
I
of
will
bonkers.
admit it can be at times. Big up Bonkers. I didn't see Bonkers join, but big up. It can be tough. I saw a tweet that kind of symbolized what it is. And excuse me. And I remember when Klopp was going through a difficult spell. And a journalist asked, do you have confidence in your own ability to turn it around? And he's just like right before he's about to take a sip of water, and he's about to end the press conference, and he answers, yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to do the German Klopp accent. I'm not going to do that. Okay.
Let me need Lante for that one.
Yeah, I need Lante for that one. But ask the same question. Can you restore belief within the fan base to Arnie Slot? Arnie Slot's answer is on second title. That's not there's a difference. I think that's the disconnect. And I think that's why he hasn't been able to hold on to the Premiership title merit that he's gotten, that he's well deserved for. It's difficult for people to fall back on that, to say, oh yeah, he deserves this, or he deserves an opportunity for this or for that. When your answer is like that, in my opinion, it's tough to go about and make a real, full-hearted defense of someone that doesn't really see. There's no I won your second title in 30 years. There's no Jurgen Klopp, and most of us would say our second title. There's a difference. But let's get into these player ratings before we get too far down the rabbit hole. Let's begin with Allison. Allie. Look, these ratings are going to be probably pretty brutal. I'm not going to even utilize pictures for these because I don't want to get people angry. I'm not trying to trigger people by seeing the players that let them down. So I'm going to start, though, with Ali. I think this is one of those games where you feel sorry for Ali, because most games he is a 9 out of 10 as his bar. He was exposed by defensive errors. I understand that, but he absolutely should do better for the second goal. Letting it slide under his body the way it did is not what you expect from a world-class goalkeeper. I'm not saying he's not one because of that, but I'm saying that that's something that you don't expect from a world-class goalkeeper, and I'm sure that he's not going to accept that as well. He did make a big save on Christie, but that's bare minimum for his standards. When you're Ali, you get judged on the big moments, and he failed in 2 of them. I'm giving him a 4 out of 10. I'm going to do numbers this time because, if it got down to it, I think the majority of the team would get Fs if I was giving out grades. So I gave him a 4 out of 10. What do you want to give Ali for his rating?
Likewise, bro. 4.
Okay. The player you talked about getting subbed out earlier had a tough night defensively. Couldn't really influence the game going forward too much. He wasn't directly at fault for the goals, but he also did help. He didn't help stabilize really that much. Replaced on the hour mark, and you honestly, unlike JK, who did notice it, I didn't really notice that he wasn't even on the pitch anymore because he wasn't given much on the pitch when he was, in my opinion. But some might say he was anonymous. Others might say he should have given more time. I gave Frimpong a 5. 5 out of 10.
I'll give him a 6.
Okay. All right.
Look at that stat from Bonkers. In January, 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
21
bad.
points there. That's FA Cup. There'll be an FA Cup game in there. So just say 21 points, and we've got 10 out of it. Yeah.
Yep. Because we lost 11. We dropped 11 points by the loss and for the draws. Yep.
And a couple of them games were at Anfield as well. Leeds, Sunderland.
A couple of those games were against nearly promoted teams. That's pathetic. Joe Gomez was very unlucky. Collision with Ali, trying to prevent the first goal, gets injured. The bigger point, Joey's injury record isn't exactly why most people have reservations about, his reliability. And why many might have questioned why we are rolling into a season with just Joey as one of our main stopgaps if something was to happen. This isn't about Joey's quality, by the way. I think Joey's his top performer. I think you saw it in the Marseille match. Unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to really see it in this match. He only played like 20. I would give him a 5 out of 10. But that might be a little harsh to judge him on 20 minutes. But what would you have given him?
I can't really say anything there with Gomez. 5, bro. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure how. Did the guy sort of fall on him as well in that sort of situation?
No, it was
messy. That was.
It was. Yeah, it was messy, and it was not the kind of messy that we would want to see, but it was messy in that it was Ali collided with his hip. So that's what really looked ugly, was the collision with his hip. I don't have any update on Joe Gomez. I'm sure they are going to release it probably tomorrow or so. But apparently it was the reason why it was as bad as it was is probably like a bad bone bruise or something, but it was apparently bone on bone that hit in the collision. So those are never good. I've had occasions where that has happened to myself, and it's not fun. Like a shin hits another shin bone, it hurts.
That hurts, yeah.
Look,
Bonkers is saying 2 wins in that run with the FA Cup and the Champions League win, bro. So we got four points out of possible 15.
Yeah, because we had 4 draws going in. It would have been, if we had gotten a draw, and this is why the draw result was like, I kept saying, if we get a draw in this game, it's a loss, and stop acting like it's like we have something to hang our hat on for going unbeaten. If we had gotten the draw, it would have been the first time we had gotten 5 straight draws in the Premier League, or not in the Premier League, in Liverpool history, actually. Since, can you think of what year you have to go back to? Just throw out a quick
2006?
guess. 1980.
No, okay.
It would have been 46 years since we've done that. That's how wild that was. But that's what it is. I hate giving this next rating because truly this is one of my favorite players on the team. I'm still very bullish on the fact that this player is a leader and is unfortunately leading a team that doesn't want to take accountability for itself. And he's being thrown out there as being the, I wouldn't say scapegoat, but he's definitely being the sacrificial lamb. And, but that's what happens when you are the captain. This has to be one of his worst performances that I've seen him do in a Liverpool kit. The clearance for the opener was poor. I don't even understand what the heck he was thinking. He's just got to follow through, kick that ball out. So what, you can see the corner, but at least you get time to set up and defend, as opposed to you can't allow for the player to win the ball. He plays Jimenez on side for the second. That again is not good. You got to hold a better line. It's your responsibility as the captain for that. In the late portion of the game, doesn't command the box late. Yes, I understand he scored. That was big, by the way, but that doesn't erase the damage. And the real issue is his reaction to mistakes was not one that I would be proud of. He was not showing a sense of urgency or leadership, just acceptance somewhat. And that was pretty alarming as to, like, you know, he's got to do a little Michael Jackson man in the mirror. You know, that's just my conception, at least, of it. I gave Virgil van Dijk a 3. 3. I actually, yeah, 3 out of 10. I'll stick with a 3.
I'll give him a 3 for each goal.
Yeah. Virgil got 6 from Norm. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, but I think he's at fault for. I'm trying to remember the third goal. Like that offside looked like offside though when you see it from when I first seen it.
I thought it was offside too. I thought
Yeah.
when you look at the camera angle, I know that the camera angles can be deceptive, but the angle that they showed, I was like, "There's no way that's onside." You can see that the portion of
He's
his
ahead of
body
Virgil.
is ahead of Virgil, and I was like, "There's no way." But it all depends on when they deem the pass is actually made, and yeah, I just don't know. I thought it was wrong for them to come out with the Robbo talk, and I thought it was wrong to play. I thought it was wrong to play Kirkez in this game against Bournemouth, simply because playing against your former club can sometimes not be an easy thing to process. We know that Kirkez has had ups and downs with processing his emotions this season and keeping the progressive energy that he has in check to be conductive. In this game, I think he was overwhelmed. He was beaten far too easily for Bournemouth's second goal and looked uncomfortable from minute 1, basically. I think he was subbed off at halftime. Most notably, when you get subbed off at halftime, it means something's not working. So I think, unfortunately for him, for someone being spoken about as part of Liverpool's future and being something that's finally, clicked into gear, this wasn't possibly a real reality check for Kirkez. I gave Kirkez a 4 out of 10. 5 from Norm. Okay.
I'm gonna give him a 3, bro.
Gave him a 3. Oh wow. All right.
Yeah, I'll give him a 3. Yeah, Van Dijk, best defender in the world ever, but he got a 3 for yesterday's display.
Yeah.
Is it simple as that one? With that,
Simple as
he was at fault for 2 goals. In my way, he could have played the offside better. and I don't know what he's doing on the first goal. And mistakes
Yeah.
cost points when we're doing
They do.
points. Yeah.
I'm not going to play the sound bit for this player because I know this might again trigger some people, but one of the few I think this player though looked like he actually gave two craps about the game. He covered a lot of ground, he helped defensively, he supported attacks, but it wasn't anything spectacular. It was functional but not spectacular. It's one of those cases where because he played okay, it means that he's going to get a decent grade compared to others, but it shouldn't be a high grade in essence if you're doing just the bare minimum. I thought Gravy was a 6 out of 10 in this one.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well.
Macca. Quiet, too quiet, I would say, in this game. Off the pace, couldn't dictate a lot of what was going on. Replaced before the hour. Another game where you're waiting for him to take control like he did last season, and he just doesn't. Good player, bad season. Sometimes that happens. I'm going to give Macca a 6 out of 10. I could probably say 5 out of 10, actually.
I'll give him a 5.
5 out of 10. 6.5 from Gravy, from Retro, and Bonkers gave Gravy a 5. Norm gave Macca a 2. Ouch. He said it was terrible and gutless. Ouch. That is not good. Gravy got a 6 from High Lord. Okay. It sounds weird how a player could be on the losing team and yet you want to offer him up as being man of the match. But 2 set pieces, 2 moments of genuine quality. He had the corner that led to Virgil van Dijk's goal. He had an absolute thunderbolt free kick for the equalizer. Without him, Liverpool lose this game 3-0. Let's be honest. So right now he's carrying the creative burden. Some would say almost alone. But I gave Dom, I don't want to say an 8, no, 7.8, 7.5 or something like that. I can't give him an 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I would give him a 7. You give him an 8, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. I'll do it.
Yeah. Look, bro, he brought his things to the table, bro. It was everyone else who let him down.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. He did his 8 out of 10. Got a goal, got an assist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dom is the reason we're in the top half of the table, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People get angry when I remember some of the things they used to. Not anyone really. Not especially no one in this chat right here. These OGs I see, none of these were on the anti-Dominic Szoboszlai train. But I know some people that were ready to drive the guy to the airport. Couldn't get him off the team fast enough. But let's go on to our attack.
I just thought you could do more.
Yeah.
And he's done it now. You know what I mean?
And he's done it. He stepped up. He said, JK, I see you. I feel your constructive criticism, and I'm going to make the most of it. Mohamed Salah, back in the starting 11, was not sharp. Looked confused at times, rusty, hesitant, not dangerous really at all. He doesn't look like it looks like the focal point isn't there anymore for him for some reason. He just can't kind of center in on what he has to be or what he needs to be for this team. And I think there's a real opportunity for him to recreate his career. Position himself as a center forward for the club and really make a difference for us. Same way that Mane did when he made the transition from wing to central. But he definitely needs to rediscover himself. But that's a massive problem when your system depends on a player like him. I gave Salah a 5 out of 10. What did you give Salah?
5, yeah. I'll go with 5.
Okay. Jeez, you know how I love Agent Cody, but honestly, if you hadn't shown me that he was in the starting lineup, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that he was in this game. He had some meaningless touches. He offered really nothing centrally. He was substituted without protest. That says a lot, you know. I'm not worried about this current trend he's on, simply because I know there's a player there, and also I know that he is working his way back from injury. But I gave Cody a 4 out of 10. What would you have given Cody for his grade? Cody is a 3 from High Lore. Okay.
I'm gonna
Good.
I'll give Gapco a 3 as well, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, not great.
Well, I gave him a 4, but but you're saying you give him a 3 like Hyler did. I got you. Got you.
To answer Helio's question, in a weird way, yeah. I think sometimes midfielders as captains, they're more around the pitch is better. Because when you look at Szoboszlai, he's not just sticking to one position, say like the way Van Dijk does. But hey, Van Dijk's the captain. Willing to lead that season.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to stand by my assessment. I think there's more, for me personally. I think there's more to being a captain than just being the informed player. Damas Bosley has been informed. He has certainly been fighting, been holding up his end of the bargain. That I can attest very well. I mean, I did pick this guy preseason to be our player of the year. So, that's just, and there's plenty of players on this team that could have stepped up and been that guy. But I thought Damas Bosley, it was his time to shine. But at the same time, I think that when it comes to captains, personally, I believe there's more that you have to involve in the deduction of who's going to be the captain. You have to have a player that not only demands respect, but also can be humble at times as well, to be still a part of the team, not be just that guy that's separate from the team. He has to be a part of the team, take accountability with the team, but he also has to lead a team. He also has to be a part of the team. He also has to have the respect of not only the team, but he also has to have the respect of the club, because he's going to be the face of the club. Okay. He's going to be the one that does the press conferences or interviews, or he's the one that's going to do all of the press junkets and stuff like that. That is something that, it's off the pitch stuff, but it's still important enough that you have to recognize it for what it is. And finally, I just think sometimes when you have a center half as your captain, unlike a goalie who can't really go up and argue with referees on calls, a center half can see the entire pitch. He can see everything that's going on because it's in front of him, and he can be that person that can go up and argue the case for whatever it is that is for the team. But I digress. Let me just get this last player out here because I'm going to go quickly through the subs. Florian Wirtz. He had all opportunities to make something happen, but was certainly when it came close to the winner, but tried to create, but just came up short. Again, no end product, which is confusing considering we all know that the player has it. I gave Flo I'll give Flo a 6 because it wasn't bad, but it was certainly wanting. What'd you give Flo?
I'll give him a 6 as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's just
Not
go
sharp. You know what I
No
mean?
sharp. Yeah. Let's just go 1v1 on these. So what are you going to give? What was your rating for Endo? I'll rate Robbo. So what's your rating for
End at 6,
Endo?
bro, when he came on.
Okay. Simple as. I didn't think Robbo had a bad game. I gave Robbo but I still gave Robbo a 5 out of 10 because he just he didn't really change anything. It was just like he was out there, but he wasn't bad, but he wasn't a negative, but he also wasn't a positive. He was like a plus. His plus minus was a wash. Curtis Jones, what were you giving Curtis Jones?
I'll give him a 5, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I gave Rio. There is this meme out there. It's funny, and it's like I don't know if you guys watch The Boys. It's a series on Prime, and it's like a comic book style live action. And there's a character called Homelander, and Homelander has a son. Okay, and Homelander's like the Homelander is like the if Superman was like I don't know, he's like all about America or something like that. So he has like American flag as his cape, you know. Anyway, there's a scene where Homelander is with his son, who does have he has his powers technically, but he hasn't figured out how to use them. And in the scene, Homelander is like, "Oh, you know, they're on top of this house," and he's like, "Go ahead, I want to see you flying." And he's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "You know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning." And Homelander's like, "There's only one way to do it," and he pushes him off the house. He pushes him off the roof, and the guy like falls. The kid falls flat on his face. And it was basically saying that's Arnie Slot in Rio. Arnie Slot loves throwing Rio into situations where you're just like, wow, man, that's a lot to put on the plate for a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, whatever, you know, for a teenager. That's a lot. Yeah, the kid's got to learn, right? Yeah, that's what it seems like. That's what Slot kind of does. Is like, kids got to learn. So let me throw you out there. Oh, I know we're at St. James Park, and it's like, and it's you know, it is absolutely brutal the amount of like you know things that are going on in the crowd against you. Go win us the game, you know. It's just a case and hey, I'm going to say this. I thought Rio played well. I thought you can't judge him too harshly. I know he's at early stages of his career. That's not his fault that he is still developing. But I gave Rio a 6 out of 10. I thought he did these. I thought there was a noticeable difference between him and Cody in the game. And unfortunately, I thought that the coach should have did if he was going to play, if he wanted to play a winger in this game, he should have played it in reverse. He should have played Rio from the start and then put Cody in to kind of balance things out, in my opinion. You get the last player, JK. Hugo Ekitike.
I'll give him a 6, bro.
No doubt. Big up, Norm. I'm glad to see you made it back safely from your trip. Definitely.
Have a good night.
Have a pleasant night. Definitely. What'd you give Hugo?
I'll give him a 6.
Okay. All right. There is a major update on Robbo, is what High Lord is saying. All right. Let me go to Paul Joyce's. I'll go to Paul Joyce's website, or not website, Twitter feed here. Paul Joyce. All right. Oh, wow. So the update that Hyler was announcing is Andrew Robertson, the player we affectionately know as Robbo. And this is on Paul Joyce's official. I don't follow. There's lots of uh, weird sites out there that pretend to be journalists and the likes. But Paul Joyce has said that Robbo to stay at Liverpool as things stand. Liverpool pull plug on the Robbo Hotspur move. They pulled the plug on that move. I'm glad to see that they weren't going to try to cash in 3 million or 5 million, whatever it was going to be. But that is the word from Paul Joyce, who is a writer for the Times and is someone that the Liverpool does utilize to get information out on the team. So more power to him.
I said if I've seen it because he played yesterday. I don't think he's going anywhere. That's what I thought. That's my opinion. So
Yes, good point. Very good point. Last but not least is Mr. Slot, Arnie Slot, our coach, our beloved coach. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Credit where it's due. We got a set piece goal. We had control of possession, but defensively, we looked suspect. The substitution chaos, that is something that you cannot excuse. 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was, that is unheard of. Unheard of. No control in the final 10 minutes. That is reprehensible. And the same players, same mistakes, same outcome. This isn't a one-off. This is a trend that is slowly but surely becoming makes the unbeaten run an even bigger fraud of a accolade. And when trends persist, the manager has to own them, not make further excuses. Arnie, stop with the excuses. Stop. Just own it. Arnie Slot, I gave a 4 out of 10. You're probably going to go lower in the chat, and JK, what is your rating now? For Arnie Slot, that is. What's your rating? You can tell us in the chat too what you want to rate Arnie. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We got like 5 more minutes to make sure to get your rating in for Arnie. We just talked about him for so long, you might as well get your rating in. I guess. All right. Well, let's be honest about what this was. Not a robbery, not bad luck, and certainly not tiredness. This was a team with a goalkeeper who looked poor today or yesterday. A captain who made repeated errors that are reprehensible and should be someone that be held accountable for doing so. A forward line offering nothing at all. You can hold the wind at fault if you want, but look, it's a manager who can't stop the bleeding, and Liverpool didn't lose I don't think Liverpool lost to Bournemouth. Liverpool lost to Liverpool. That's the problem. JK, are you with us?
yeah, bro.
Okay, go ahead. What you want to say?
I'll give Slot a 5. Yeah, I think You can't blame Slot for Van Dijk's defending on the first goal, the offside, and the third goal at the end. Shambles. Can't hear you, 12, if you're there. It's cool. Oh, he's there.
I just think this was a team with the goalkeeper that needed help. He didn't get it. Again, Liverpool lost to Liverpool today or yesterday. We lost to ourselves.
We're our own worst enemies, bro.
We're our own worst enemy.
Look at it. Poor goals we let in, man.
Yeah. So when it rains, it pours. You know what it means? What I mean by that? When it rains, it pours. It was pouring yesterday. If there was a Premier League trophy for self-sabotage, it would have Liverpool's name on it because yesterday it was poor. Every time we clawed back momentum, every time we got a little belief, we were just hit right back, 2 steps forward or 1 step back. And yes, we fought back. Yes, we equalized. Yes, we showed some character at moments, but it just wasn't what it needed to be. And as a team that played like champions, a team that perseveres and gets results, because Bournemouth is a team we should not lose against. I could care less that we're on the road. We should not lose against Bournemouth on the road. With the amount of injuries that Bournemouth has and the form that Bournemouth is in, there's absolutely no reason why that team should play with confidence against us as defending champions. I can love Virgil van Dijk, but I still demand more from my captain, and that's what I'm asking right now. Virgil, do us all the honor of standing up, holding accountability, and making a difference in this next coming game. Again, also, I think you can support Liverpool, but you can refuse to pretend this is acceptable, because it's not. Standards are what separate champions from excuses. I don't want to hear any more excuses about the win, about low blocks, about freaking about about scheduling and being tired. I don't want to hear any of those excuses anymore. Figure out a solution and make it happen. JK, your final words before we wrap up here.
Yeah, Lee was good. Yeah, I think Robert's staying, so that's sort of good news for me. I didn't want him to go to Tottenham. My ball teams sod that. Not a great weekend, bro, football wise. Everyone around us winning. Us and Arsenal losing. It's a top 5 that get top Champions League, isn't it? Top 5.
Yeah, it is. It is right now. And to answer Sheba's question real quick, the rumors about, from what I've read, the rumors are that we have reached out to Xabi Alonso's team. So conversations are in the works currently with Xabi Alonso.
I heard that last summer, bro.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
I heard that last summer, bro.
But go ahead.
I heard that last summer, bro. So for me, if it happens, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, look, Alonso's coming," this, that, and the other. If the journalists bring that news to the table, sound. But until then, Arnie Slot, bro, he sort of ruined his own sort of name this season. Could have done a lot this season. Could still do a lot, bro. There's 2 competitions left and get his top 4 on that. But I just feel, look at Carrick. Come back for 2 games. Man City, Arsenal, beat them both.
Right.
That's the same donkeys who they had all season. They go and pull that out. They beat Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal this season, bro. Yeah. I think for us, to get a new manager in now will be the best timing.
Let's do it. Let's get it done.
Let's
Get it done. Xabi Alonso knows how to win win a title with Liverpool. He's done it before. So let's see it happen again. We appreciate everyone joining us and staying with us, sticking with us for this whole run. I do have a little bit of Red Zen. You know how I like to give sometimes Red Zen to kind of get us in the right shape and frame of mind. Look, there is always something to maybe the silver lining is still, yes, I don't want to see Red Devils win. That's not even remote, sirs. But at the whole same time, the fact that this is a bottle job in the making. We have this right here. maybe. You could have a little bit of Gooners come out to play. Yay.
Thing is, there'll be their fans calling for his head, bro. When you think about it, the way football is now, they're in the best position to win a league title in years. Some of their fans want him gone.
Yeah, I know.
This is fucking the football weird's gone, man.
Look at it that way, you know. Look at it that way. If we can cry and whine and complain about everything, but they deserve every last bottle they have right now.
Yeah,
and they are on the verge of maybe bottling in. So, you know, they can go out and play with that. So, all right, people,
we are going to be
announcing. Yeah, they have been. They've already written it off as he is the best. He's the best. He's the best. There's no better than Arteta. Okay. All right. Well, with that said, people, we will see you guys tomorrow. We'll have I have an actual good episode lined up for us tomorrow. Since I was on a little bit of a one-day holiday. So I am back and I'm ready to rock and roll, and we will do this all again tomorrow. So for JK, for myself, thank you to the chat. Definitely take care. Good night, and up the Reds, people. Always.
Peace, people.
We can push. We can make this happen. Up the Reds. Keep faith alive. Peace.